Ooh. Huh. Ooh. Huh. Huh. Welcome to the 1313 podcast, the most mediocre podcast in the Star Wars universe. I'm Jacob.
I'm Jackson.
And I'm Tommy.
And welcome back to the podcast. This is the podcast. To all you Regs, welcome back. And to all you Shinies, welcome to the podcast. And before we start off this episode, as always, be sure to join that Discord where we have many cool conversations, many fun times, many talks about Star Wars. The link is in the description. Link is in the bio of all of our social media. Make sure that you're in it. We have lots of fun in those things. And also, be sure to subscribe to the 1313 Podcast YouTube channel because we are giving away no other than the Bad Batch Rex Black Series figure at 500 subscribers. Make sure that you are subscribed so that you can win this amazing figure when we hit that 500 subs.
Do it.
Thank you very much for listening to my spiel.
And with that,
We have some Star Wars to discuss.
Some great Star Wars.
I think that's the fastest I've ever done that intro.
how the heck is everybody today? Because today was an emotional roller coaster.
I watched that new episode at the beginning of the day, and it was all downhill from there.
Oh,
There's no way your day could get better than that episode.
real quick. By the time this goes up, we will already have posted our Have a Chat with none other than Papa Gord.
This might be Papa Gord's last time on the internet. Or not. We don't know. It's up to him.
Hopefully
so be
not.
sure to watch that video and also go support Papa Gord and let him know that you support him on needing to take a break because sometimes creatives need to take a step away to recharge their batteries.
And that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
Don't bombard him with messages and don't mess with him just because he wants
Papa
to take a
Gord,
break.
can I have your Black Series figures, Papa Gord?
Don't do that.
Papa Gord, can you fly down to my house on Christmas? I made you cookies.
Anyway.
Papa Gord, can you
thought it was
pay my
funny.
mortgage, Papa Gord?
Papa Gord, can you pay my mortgage?
All right, everyone. I'm going to just come right out the gate. Let's talk about the Book of Boba Fett. I'm going to give this episode a 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Probably one of the best pieces of Star Wars media I have personally ever seen.
I concur.
It
Yes.
was quite amazing. So let's jump right into it. The episode starts with seeing Cobb Vanth just shooting up some pikes.
Corncob Vanth.
Corn Cobb
So I
Vanth.
With
didn't
the
think
quick
would
draw
happen.
McGraw.
Dude, that man can shoot fast. That man can shoot fast. That
And
was...
I do like
Yeah.
his new blaster pistol.
Yeah.
I like the fit too.
The fit is dope.
Mm-hmm. It was kind of like... It was like... He came onto the screen and it wasn't like... I was like, oh my gosh, it's Cobb Vanth. I just sat there and went, ooh.
Oh, sweet. It's Cobb Vanth.
Hey,
was like, hey.
that's pretty good.
That's pretty mildly cool. But no, the Pikes, they're exchanging some spice for some credits. Cobb Vanth goes, "Don't do drugs, kids," and kicks over
The spice.
the spice.
Dumps it out.
It's
then
literally in like an 1840s chest.
1840s.
Something you inherit from your grandma.
It's like a family heirloom.
A jewelry box full of cocaine. So-
Space cocaine.
Space cocaine.
Actually, for those who don't know, I took a drugs class in college.
Wow.
And
How
I
many
had
did you
to
do?
write a lot. I had to write a term paper at the end of the semester, and I decided, you know what, I'm gonna have some fun with it. I'm gonna write this paper about drugs in Star Wars and like real life drugs. And I know I've mentioned it on the podcast before, but spice is actually opium in real life. So it's like all the same effects and everything.
Space heroin.
So yeah, literally space heroin.
That means Boba Fett has done space heroin because he's had a spice dream.
Oh, that spice is so good.
It's like, Fennec, you gotta try this. Okay, I'm not gonna make
Okay.
those jokes on the podcast.
Fennec, cut me a line.
Anyway,
Okay.
the 1313 podcast does not support the consumption or use of drugs, illegal drugs, or Flintstone gummies.
For real though, kids, doing drugs is just whack.
Facts.
If you do drugs, it's just...
You look like a loser. Anyway.
It's true. We've never done drugs, and look how good we all turned out.
This guy turning into a sloth.
I was imagining a Kung Fu Panda scene where, like, Tigress is talking to him, and he just goes...
I gotta rewatch those movies. I haven't seen those.
Kung Fu
in a minute.
Panda is in my top like 5 movies of all time.
Really?
I just watched it again, and
Dang.
it's such a moving, like, inspirational movie.
I remember seeing that movie in theaters.
Yeah.
Because we used to have a theater in our hometown where like the movies would go to it after like 3 months, and they would only cost $1 to go see it. So I remember we went to see it for the first time there, and I remember walking up the aisle, leaving the movie going, "Whoa! Whoa!" like walking out like a little loser.
I can recite the entire dream sequence at the beginning of the movie, and my favorite part is where he goes,
I see you like to chew. Then maybe you should chew on my fist.
Thanks for
The
slamming the
warrior
table.
said nothing, for his mouth was
I'm gonna keep
full.
it a buck with you. Can we get back
Then
on
he
topic?
spoke. No.
Every
Anyway,
listener clicking off the video.
I don't want to hear about no Kung Fu Pandas. So no, we see him kick over a can of the box of spice, and then we
Yep.
get an intro with new music.
Yes.
The music was mixed differently. It was two
"Oh,
different.
it
things.
was." I was trying
Yeah.
to figure out what it was mixed with this time.
I couldn't figure that out.
Someone probably knows, and we'll probably know by the time
Let
it
us
comes
know in
up.
the comments below if you know what song was mixed in with the Boba Fett theme this episode.
What really surprised me then was after that, we're seeing Mando and his starfighter go right to the planet where Luke is.
The planet
I didn't
that
think
is
that would
not
happen.
Yavin 4. Repeat, this planet is not Yavin 4.
No.
Just in case anyone was confused.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the scenery is like 98% identical.
And when he touches down on that planet, we're immediately greeted with R2D2. That was pretty cool to see.
That was another one where I was like, oh, that's mildly cool.
Yeah, that was
Didn't expect
that
it.
was another little appetizer for the rest
Well,
of the
I
episode.
feel like because in this case, we all knew where Mando was going.
yeah.
Mhm.
We already knew. So
But we
it
didn't-
wasn't that much.
I didn't think we were gonna get the extent of the episode that we really did, seeing what we did.
Neither did I.
I don't think anybody could call that. So Mando touches down. He's like, "I'm looking for Skywalker," and R2's like, "Whoop whoop," and decides to take him to where we see a bunch of robo dogs building Luke's Jedi temple.
Literally a colony of ant droids. Just
Robo dogs.
Are we talking?
Building.
Now, I don't know if you guys noticed this as well, but does it look like the Jedi Temple originally constructed in the Last Jedi flashbacks?
it kind of does, but it also oh no, that is the temple from the Last Jedi flashbacks. But it also, the construction reminds me of Octu. I thought that's what you were talking
Oh,
about.
okay.
But yeah, I think this is the temple.
Yeah.
Kylo Ren goes works everybody.
He goes,
I will be like my grandfather and slaughter manners.
Where's the girl? Dang.
But no, so we see Mando's just like, "Where the kid at?" And then R2D2 goes to sleep, and then we get to see Luke Skywalker
He goes,
training
so
Grogu.
where's Grogu? R2 just goes, I don't know, just takes a nap.
We don't
Hmm.
see Skywalker at first, though.
No,
we do.
Oh, yeah, my bad. I was thinking about who's...
The shot
greets
starts.
him?
We
My
see
bad, my bad,
Grogu
my
just
bad.
on a rock, and then we just see Luke just. And I gotta say, it looks a ton better than it did in Mando season 2.
Yeah.
Not only does it look a ton better, it looks better when he speaks. It looks
Yes.
better like when he's looking at different angles.
He's more he's moving. He's more expressive. They showed that I feel like end of season 2 was really a test to see if they could get the deep fake to work. And then when they saw that what they could do, and then they had videos of people like Corridor Digital, like really pushing the limits of what it could do. They had that as a confirmation saying, we can do that and it'll look just as good. So they pushed it, and they had him moving around a ton. He was really expressive. One thing I did notice is that you could see the inside of his mouth and his tongue and the roof of his mouth when he speaks, when deepfakes usually can't get that detail. So they probably went in, and this is probably because they did this on The Mandalorian. They probably had they did Mark Hamill recording it, because Mark Hamill was credited in the credits. They had Mark Hamill act it out. The other actor acted out. They had a CG Mark Hamill head on the new actor, and then they deepfaked that
hey,
CG
I did
head.
want to say, you were right last week. That other X-Wing pilot was the body double for Luke.
I know.
I responded to Out of the Basement's comment on that, saying that we belligerently bullied Jacob on that.
Yeah.
Belligerently.
And I was
No,
right.
but
I was right all
Luke
along.
looks straight out of Return of the Jedi, in my opinion. It looks just like Mark Hamill.
like-
It doesn't look like it's
Did
fake.
you just call him Mark Handmill?
Hamill.
Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill.
That's
Mark
what I
Hamill.
said. I didn't say ham.
Mark Handmill.
Mark Ham sandwich. But
Mark hand me
in
down.
the season 2 of The Mandalorian, like it looked good, but there's still that thing like in your human instinct of like in the back of your head, you're like, something doesn't look right here because we are so well adapted to reading other humans' faces.
Mm-hmm.
And so when something doesn't look right, you can just tell. With this episode, almost all of the scenes, save maybe one, I didn't have that feeling at all. If I didn't know that Mark Hamill was actually like much older at this time, I would have had no idea.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The only thing that I could that made me go, I could tell it's a deep fake was the fact that his forehead is smaller than Mark Hamill's. The hair covers a lot more of his forehead and his eyes are raised up a lot more on his face. That's the only thing that gave it away to me.
Even the scars on his upper lip looked good.
Yes.
The pores, as they say on Corridor Digital.
The pores stretch!
Pores stretch!
Yeah, because they do with a deep fake because it's pictures
So-
of face rather than a CG face.
So Luke is meditating with Grogu. Grogu says, man, I'm hungry. I need
Frog
something."
time.
Frog time. Luke goes, nah, bro. Throws it away. Picks up approximately 37 frogs.
And then Grogu's like, about to go down.
What?
And he's like, no.
Whatever sound he makes.
And I just want to say, I believe the next scene, Luke is walking with Grogu, and he's like using
Picks
the
him
Force
up.
to carry him along.
Yeah.
That was like the cutest thing I've ever seen.
But it was in that scene where Luke is talking to Grogu. He's like, you remind me of an old friend, my old master. And he name drops Yoda. And the second he does, Yoda's theme plays in the background, which was fantastic. It's like, it's those musical numbers that always play when somebody's name dropped that just make me so happy. So no, that was a really nice detail as he's just tossing Grogu along.
That was
And then, is it this scene that he looks into Grogu's mind?
It's right after. He's
Yes.
like, would you like to know where you came from?
And there have only been, I could probably count on one hand the number of times I've teared up watching Star Wars.
I can count on one hand the amount of times Star Wars has made me cry.
yes.
You know that one clip of, I'm going to name drop a creator. You know that one clip of Star Wars Theory crying at seeing Luke Skywalker at the end of season 2? Yeah, that was me. Like, if we can, put a clip up of it right now. If we can't, we're not going to. Or at least
Doesn't
a picture.
matter.
But, no, so the reason why we were crying, if you haven't seen it already, go away, go watch the episode, you dummy.
If you've gotten this far and you haven't seen the episode yet,
Dang,
first of all, it's been 5 days since the episode came out. Second of all, why are you watching a spoiler review discussion?
Mhm.
Anyways,
He reveals Grogu's traumatic experience in the Jedi Temple during Order 66. And when I saw, once again, live action clone troopers, I know that they're CG. They're not,
Yes.
they weren't live action like physical suits. But just seeing clone troopers in a live action thing, it made me cry. Because I sat there in my bed at like 6 a.m, like,
this
'cause-
was the last show that I expected to see clones in.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
would have expected maybe to see it in like Obi-Wan or
Mhm.
Ahsoka.
mhm.
Definitely not the Book of Boba Fett.
It was,
And then it just happened, and I was like,
And they looked
Mhm.
amazing.
they look so
it looked
good.
good. And it was Tamara Morrison's voice.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
One of the Jedi that died, my father was telling me this actually. The actor that played that Jedi, I forget his in-universe name, but he was the guy that did all of the lightsaber fight choreography
Oh,
for the
sick.
prequels.
Mm.
So that was the guy. He's actually a character in universe, and we got to see him get murked
That's
Mhm.
fun.
by the 501st.
I feel like there might, that was definitely like a really, someone who was just in that, but I feel like maybe the other Jedi as well might have a connection or not, or they're just kind of thrown in there.
Mhm.
Yeah, but it was just
It
wow.
was a surreal moment. I've been wanting to see Clone Troopers again for so long.
Yes.
Because the only time you really see a Phase 2 Clone Trooper is in Episode 3, and then we see it in the Clone Wars. But seeing it again, and just even for that small portion that it made me so happy. And then they 1-2 punched me with the very next scene, Mando being awoken on a bench by none other than Ahsoka Tano. Meaning that Ahsoka has met her master's child, and they just know each other. They just know each other. That was like one of the best things that ever happened to me as a human being on this planet.
I did just want to say before
Yeah,
we get into
I want to
that,
go
one
back
more
to the
thing-
clones.
One more
Mm.
thing about the clones. I think that I was just saying to you guys before we started recording that that's all I've been asking for, was just to see them again in a live action show.
I can die happy.
And
Yep.
I don't would I like to see more of them? Sure, but I don't need to. I'm so satisfied by that.
I would like to see more. I would
like
love
to see more. But yeah, at the same time, it's like I'm so happy.
Yes. That I was over the moon with
Fulfilled.
this.
And so the other thing I wanted to bring up as well is that there was initial discussion, and I had said it on the Discord as well, was that the one clone in the scene is supposed to be Oppo. However, I feel that's not true.
It's not supposed to be. Fellas thought it looked like him, but upon watching it twice now, I can say that there's no arrow on his head. So it doesn't.
Yeah,
And
I
the
can say
arrow
that
was
with
painted
confidence.
over in Revenge of the Sith. That was, I don't know, I guess told to us and whatnot, because Oppo's the clone in the scene that kills George Lucas's son. And
Bail
when they go to
Organa's
the
kid.
Yeah, my bad. And when they go into the temple, they get rid of all their unique markings because now they're just plain clones, no longer individual.
No, you were right. The actor is George Lucas's son.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I meant.
His
And
name
just-
is Jet or Jack something.
Mm.
I forget
Just
to be
in
honest.
universe, it's Bail Organa's kid.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But no. Yeah, onto that next scene, seeing Mando and Ahsoka. That
That
made
was
me very
amazing.
happy.
Never
That made-
expected it.
Mando said,
Never
"What are
expected
you
it.
doing here, bruh?"
It's like, and then he was like, I thought you didn't want Grogu to be taught at all. And she's like, wasn't my decision, boss. It was Luke's idea, not mine. And then Mando's like, well, I'm going to go see my kid. And she was like, you probably shouldn't.
She goes, "What do you mean by that? Are you sure about that?"
That
you
was
sure about
the
that?
most. See, I'm going to be completely honest. I didn't really get upset at all with the clone trooper scene. I was really happy about it. I was definitely freaking out. But when it got to the part where Mando could visibly see Grogu and Luke on that hill, and he went, I came all this way and he's over there. Why can't I started getting really upset. I was tearing up because
This is
the bond between Mando and Grogu for me has somehow become so incredibly strong because Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau are such great writers.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say that we were just talking about this on the Discord, over the weekend. I think that a big part of Din's character arc is finding a sense of belonging,
Mm-hmm.
and he's realizing through the course of these shows he doesn't really belong with the Children of the Watch as much as he thought he did. He doesn't really belong anywhere, and pretty much most of the people he's had a genuine attachment to die. And Grogu is where he has this genuine sense of belonging and this genuine sense of feeling like he can just fully be himself and not have to portray a character. And that definitely, you could tell it took a lot for him to make the selfless decision where Grogu is really the only one who he feels like gets him.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mhm.
So that was I could feel that and again, Pedro Pascal does a phenomenal job of portraying emotion with a character that has a mask on,
Yeah.
Exactly.
an emotionless helmet, and he just is so good at portraying emotions.
Well, because you can portray so much with your body language and
Yeah.
your voice.
He's so good at it.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was really, it was very sad to see. But in the end, Mando makes the decision to not go and see Grogu because he doesn't want to
He
hinder
wants to
his
do
training.
what's best for Grogu.
Mhm.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Ahsoka takes the little armor that he had for Grogu,
He
and
goes, "Here's this picnic cloth. Now I'm a dip."
and then he leaves, and it's very sad because then Grogu sees him leave and has no idea it was him.
I think that Grogu knew that it was him because he
Mhm.
reaches his hand out and they do this shot where they slowly pan in on Grogu's face. I think he can feel it in the Force.
Yeah,
Mm.
probably
Din.
that it's him.
Yeah. Oh well.
But
And then directly after this, Luke goes right back to training Grogu, and then he
we
pulls
got a
it.
lot of training.
Nice.
He grabs the training droid and he goes, yeah, you just gotta test your reflexes. And then the droid says, I'm gonna get this baby. Bow! And throws him across the room. That was really funny.
That
I was
was
like,
really
isn't that
good.
actually gonna shoot him?
I-
And then it did.
I think my favorite scene was he goes, "Jump." It's like the cutest
Fella
thing I've
hitting that
ever
1 inch
seen.
vertical.
1 inch vertical. Grogu need to be hitting the box jumps a little more.
Facts, it's facts.
That was
Oh, and then we saw that scene of Luke with Grogu on his back
Mhm.
running, and those scenes were mirroring The Empire Strikes
Yes.
Back.
yeah,
where
like
Luke is running with Yoda.
almost exactly.
A lot of those scenes were right from the movie. Just that
Mhm.
was awesome.
That was
That
really
was
cool.
really freaking
And then
cool.
he climbs up those bamboo sticks, and then he's at the top, and the stick's like this big, and it's somehow supporting his weight. That I found was like a little Lion
That was the only
King-esque.
part where I was unimmersed from the episode. I was like, how he do
How
that?
do you do that?
But
Yeah.
I didn't really care.
And then he said, everything the light touches is our kingdom. No, so basically just gives Grogu a little lesson on the Force is all around him, and then throws him down on the ground and says, now dodge the droid. And he's like, boing, 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 starts jumping all over the place and jumping on rocks.
Literally becomes Yoda.
Yeah, starts hopping like Yoda does in episode 2. I find it very cool though. There are a few scenes where it's a bit obvious, but also not, where it goes from being a puppet of Grogu to being a full CG Grogu.
I liked how much practical they did.
Yeah.
Yes.
But like still for the full CG ones, they animate it so it looks like it's a puppet. So it's like you can barely tell.
I am a puppet.
It was very cool. And then he destroys the training droid and he's all tuckered out. And then we get Ahsoka and Luke in the same scene, and that made me fangirl a little bit. And I was like, ah.
When she made the line about like
You're-
you're just like your father, I was like,
I was like,
he is. He really is.
Yeah. And then she gives him the little grow poncho and says,
ground
I'm-
show.
the
She
Groncho,
gives him the Frodo chainmail.
the Mithril.
The myth.
Yes.
And then she says, I am a dip. And he's like, will I ever see you again? And she's like, I don't freaking know. So now that we have an idea that that's probably where the Ahsoka show is going to pick up.
Yeah.
Probably from this moment.
I know that there have been some people who were wishing that this whole storyline would have been in Mando season 3. But I would like to have not counter arguments, but here's how I look at it. First, I want to say, we as the audience, if we're bringing Din Djarin into the show, we want to know what happened to Din Djarin between the end of season 2 and how he got in the Book of Boba Fett.
Mhm.
Secondly, these shows are intertwined. There's no way. I mean, they kicked off the Book of Boba Fett with the end as like a post-credit scene of the season 2 finale of Mando. The Ahsoka show is going to be a spin-off of Mando. These shows are all going to intertwine with one another.
Exactly.
That's how.
That's
I
why
look
I'm
at it.
fine with it. And I feel like it's better we see what's happening now rather than in season 3 of Mando, because Book of Boba will end and then season 3 of Mando will just pick off where the audience last knew rather than constantly going back and forth.
Now, do I wish that I just wish I could have seen a little bit more of Boba in this episode.
Oh, we did see Boba for like 3 seconds. And all he did
My
was...
man, Boba really was original trilogy Boba in this episode. Man just stood there, nodded his head, and didn't say a single word.
I mean, which is kind of fine. It makes him really cool. And he's so cool. He's mysterious. And
Is this what you wanted, haters?
Yeah, this is...
This is what you
They
wanted?
really got what they wanted in this one episode. And then they're still going to complain
Boba
about
in the OT is better. Well, there you go.
Yeah,
That's
you
Boba.
got him. You got Boba in the OT. He just stands there and does nothing.
And nods his head.
I definitely feel like as well for
If he
although
does his
Boba
wife, he's no good to be dead.
although Boba wasn't in the episode a ton, I feel like this
Don't care.
episode set it up for the season finale enough to where it's comfortable that Boba can be in it as much as he wants. There's going to be this huge epic battle we might see, you know.
Epic things that we're not going to say until the very end of the episode.
Yeah.
But this whole kind of thing with Mando on his own gives Boba a lot of time to learn how to ride that Rancor. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. He better be riding that thing in the last episode, or I'm gonna throw a
He's
tantrum.
going to be.
He has
He better
to.
be. But no, so yeah, we see Mando. He's back on Tatooine, and then they're all getting briefed, and they're like, "Yeah, we need some foot soldiers." And Mando's like, "I know some pawns I've used before. I'm gonna go to Mos Pelgo."
Let me go grab
No.
a literal bunch
Freeland.
of random people.
No, it's Freetown. Jake.
Freetown. Sorry.
What a
Yeah.
dumb
Let
name.
me go grab a bunch of random people.
Let me go.
Cool.
Let me go grab the space equivalent of rednecks. Gotta love the space equivalent of
Space
rednecks.
civilians.
I'm allowed to say that because I am a redneck in some ways, shapes, and forms.
No, you ain't.
No, you're not. You're a wannabe.
Duck on
We
my
all
wall
are.
says otherwise. The ducks on the wall say otherwise. We got like a taxidermy museum downstairs, Jackson. Don't even cap.
But at any rate, we see him travel
hate you
back
too.
to this very familiar location to meet with the marshal. You can't park your ship here, says his deputy. That's immediately what I thought. I said,
that's gonna be
get
Tommy.
this fella off the screen.
That's gonna be Tommy.
Can we also say that when they were briefing at the palace, they have the dude prisoner, and he goes, actually, it was a scheduled vacation. The Gamorrean guard just goes,
Everybody looking at that mayor's assistant like...
Oh, and the mods. There were 6 of them in this scene. Remember how there were only 4 of them?
In the chase?
The most Espa Vespa gang?
Yeah.
There were only 4 of them in that one episode.
Yeah.
There were 6 of them in this episode. Because remember, like, I was asking, like, a couple weeks ago, I was like, weren't there 6 of them? But yeah, they showed all of them in this episode.
Okay.
Very good, very nice.
Anyways.
Very good, very nice. So, yeah, but on his way to Mos Pelgo, you can't ignore the fact that he just rides past the sandcrawler with the great dragon skull mounted to the front of it like some bull horns.
That was so funny.
They really said, check out my hood ornament. That was stupid. That was so stupid.
It was so funny, though, because it's
just
totally
so
a
random.
Jawa thing.
It's so random.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just little stuff like that I just is so cool about Star Wars. But
He rolls up. Cobb Vanth's like, hey, bud, we don't want none part of your city folk disputes. And Mando's like, it's going to happen to you too. You say it now. It's going to happen to you too. And he's like, okay, maybe I'll listen. Goodbye. I'll let
the bartender
you know.
goes, it's not our problem. That's a city problem.
Listen here, Mr. Weequay. It better be your problem.
But yeah, so then
Wonk way. I mean, large
Cobb
and
Vanth
charge.
walks out and the chimes start a ringing.
Boom.
And then we see from the desert comes a stranger. Hey, that's the name of the episode. Oh my gosh. Who is the stranger other than the creation of Dave Filoni himself? Cad, swear word, Bane.
I've watched the episode 3 times today. I watched it when I woke up, I watched it with my father, and then I watched it with my brother. When I watched it with my father, the second that the silhouette showed up from the farthest point in the desert, my father just said, Cad, Bane. And like, I was like, explicit word there. I was like, yeah, I couldn't believe it. When I was watching it, I did that thing where I'm by myself watching it. I'm like, whoa!
Yeah. I said there, I was like, oh, no way. No way.
Simultaneously,
Mouth dropped agape.
I knew it was him, but I also was in disbelief. I was like,
Yep.
there's no way. There's no way Dave Filoni, normally if Dave Filoni's directing, you can expect one character drop, but I didn't expect all the character drops in this episode.
He literally just he gave every single aspect of Star Wars in this one episode a look. It was
Connected all the trilogies to one moment.
I'm speechless. It was awesome. It was just
nuts.
Cad freaking Bane rolls up on the scene. You shouldn't have gave up your armor.
First thing he says is, Cobb Vanth. I was like, oh! The one thing I will say,
Okay,
where did my man's rocket boots go?
I saw that, because
Yeah.
when the
Still got the
silhouette
rocket
was
boots.
coming, I was like, he ain't got the rocket boots. That ain't
And he
Cad
painted the
Bane.
gauntlets blue. They're like navy blue now, which I'm like, that's dope.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But he looks...
His hat needed to be bigger. Why was his hat so
This is
small?
the
It was
small
the
hat
hat
from the
he's-
Bad Batch.
Yeah, it was the small hat. It
But
wasn't
dude,
the original hat.
I like the big hat.
It was practical effects.
Yes.
It looked
So good.
phenomenal.
It
Yeah.
looked real.
It looked perfect.
It was so good.
He had those gnarly icicle teeth.
But they were
the
so white.
Stalagmite teeth.
They were so
Yes.
white though.
They
That
haven't
made
been
me
hitting the
blushing.
whitening strips since the Bad Batch
That's
aired.
facts,
That's
that's
what I'm
facts.
just gonna be saying. But he just... Oh,
Those
man.
eyes, dude.
Yes.
Those eyes are so cool.
They're intimidating.
And
It just looks so
He's like a lighter blue.
good.
Which I think comes with probably age. It's
Maybe.
been a good 30 years.
Yeah, because that was the thing as well. Sure, people wanted to point out his teeth looked weird and he might have looked weird.
Dude,
But
he's an
you got to
alien.
think about the fact that we had only seen him adapted as a cartoon.
Fella is an
and not-
alien.
as an alien, he's supposed to be scary and grotesque, and you can't capture that in a children's cartoon.
Hey,
You
at
can
least he
only do
didn't
it in
look like
live
the
action.
at least he didn't look like the Bad Batch Funko Pop. That would have been a tragedy. That would have been
Bro.
that would have been a
I heard
tragedy.
people say that thing looked good. I went. It's
I
okay
wanted
to
to
be
reach
wrong.
through my screen and strangle him.
It's okay to be wrong. It's all right. But he just looked so good, and Timothy Oliphant's acting as Cobb Vanth in this scene was S tier acting. The deputy walks out, and he just he said, "Yeah, the Marshall's not for sale," and he's just like, you just see his face. He's like, now we're dead.
He's
Now we're both dead. You can
I
just
know.
see it in his eyes, and he's like, so now you have this the classic Western.
Yes.
It's cool because there's the standoff. Just shouldn't have gave up the armor. And then he just reveals the gun. And
That was sick.
you can tell that Cobb Vanth is so much more experienced in this than his deputy is. Because his deputy's just like,
Yeah, and literally grabbing for his gun. It's
Now,
like, bro.
Here's what I'm gonna say. I think that Cobb Vanth would have won that quick draw
if
if
it
he
wasn't
distracted by his deputy, because I think he knew in that moment, the second he came out, that he doesn't listen. He doesn't take direction. So he knew that his deputy was going to try and pulse a fast one.
Mhm.
And I think he knew the second he walked out, like I said, we're both dead. We're done. For.
Exactly. I agree. That was a total distraction. Bane even knew it. He was just like, oh, this just makes my job easier.
You could see Bane. Okay, so the immediate threat would be to go for the deputy because the deputy reaches for his gun first. Cad Bane obviously knows that this guy isn't experienced by the way he's acting and his whole demeanor, and Cobb Vanth is experienced. So what does Cad Bane do? He shoots Cobb Vanth first, not only because he knows that he will be more of a threat, but Cobb Vanth doesn't go to pull his gun until he sees his deputy grab his first. And that's just like oh shoot, we got to do this now. So he grabs it. He's distracted. He's not ready. He's not where he should be in a mindset for this duel. Cad Bane knows this. Shoots him in the shoulder, takes him down, and then just mows down his deputy.
Massacres this fella.
2 in the chest, 1 in the head. Destroys them.
People were saying, oh, is Cobb Vanth dead? No, he's not dead.
There's no way he's
not.
dead.
He got shot in the shoulder. You can see it
It was
happen.
meant to be a warning and then just make an example of the deputy for
If
acting
Hunter
out of line.
didn't die and that man got shot square in the chest, then Cobb Vanth's not dead.
Mhm.
And I think that's why they made such a point of having Cad Bane mow the deputy down.
Yes.
To show, obviously one is alive and one is dead. And everyone goes to 10 to Cobb Vanth.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they're like, this other fella dead.
Well, and I also want to point out, I didn't pick up on this really until the second time I watched it, was Cad Bane has a real animosity for Boba Fett because
Yes.
Boba Fett worked for the Empire. We know that they have a rivalry already,
Mhm.
but he has a real problem with the fact that Boba worked for the Empire.
Boba Fett is a cold-blooded killer who worked for the Empire.
Now Boba Fett's just a Tusken Raider.
Yep.
Now, okay. Predictions for the next episode, just for this point in topic. We are finally going to get that duel between Boba and Cad Bane
Yes.
that was supposed to be in the Clone Wars. And we're going to see Boba cap Cad Bane because that's what happens in the Clone Wars.
I don't want to see Cad Bane die.
But he
Would
has
you rather
to
see
at some
Boba Fett die?
No one needs to die. They can just...
hug it out, passionately kiss in front of everybody in the pikes, and just confess their
those
undying love.
Gamorreans can jump in with those voluptuous
Ah!
Gamorrean lips.
Just from out of the basement, right
Oh,
off in the
gosh.
sunset on a bantha.
They could tie cans behind the bantha. Just married.
No, I really don't want to see Cad Bane die because why would they have him die if they just introduced him?
That's facts.
That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah. No. Yeah. But then right after this,
So cool.
we see Luke and Grogu back in the temple. He pulls out the mithril. He's like, "This is from your buddy Mando."
This is from Gandalf.
Or you can have, drum roll please, Yoda's lightsaber. Man just pulls it out of box.
I was like, what?
I knew there was gonna be a lightsaber in that box. Did not know it was gonna be
I can
Yoda's.
just imagine Yoda just dying, and Luke goes, "Well, if nobody else is gonna take all this stuff, I may as well take it for myself."
This will come in handy.
He just looks around and he's just like,
Do you think he took Yoda's freaking death rag that he died in?
He said, I need new cloths.
Took
"Man,
the
I
whole
need some tighty whities."
the whole damn hut.
Yoda silky.
Took Yoda's Versace drip. Just
He took Yoda's cane.
the
Poor
stick.
dude.
No.
Oh my god, that would have been like, I just can imagine Luke just sitting there.
All I want to say really quick too is it was brought up by a member in our Discord that Yoda's lightsaber in a canon comic had been destroyed by the
Comics don't mean crap.
I'm gonna just say this right now. Unapologetically. Throw all of the comics into the fire. Throw all of the comics into the fire.
Into the
Throw
shadow
all
realm.
of the comics
matter.
into
They
the
don't
fire.
matter.
Into the shadow realm they go. Send them to the doom dimension. They just gotta. Okay,
They mean nothing.
when Jacob and I were on Lightsaber Radio's podcast a few weeks ago, shout out Lightsaber Radio.
Shouts out Lightsaber Radio.
I brought up this point because this happened in the Bad Batch too, in the opening episode, where they changed the way the Caleb Doom comic went.
Yes.
They made
With-
minor changes
With Panda Balaba dying differently.
Yeah, and like Panda Banana.
Panda Balaba died differently.
And like they changed the
Panda Balaba.
color of the clone unit. They changed a lot of stuff, but that's because, in my opinion,
Cinematic canon trumps all.
Yes, that is
Yes.
100% facts. I know that you two agree with me on this.
Yes,
Yes.
it does.
Because-
Because Star Wars was born out of the
Yes.
cinema.
And like,
And once
that's
it happens
nothing
on
against
screen,
the
it means
comics.
it
That's,
happens.
but don't try to sit here and go, well, the comics say.
It's a multiverse, guys.
Well,
No.
you see, in this random comic that came out in 2013, this happened. I'm gonna be honest with you, boss.
It ain't canon anymore.
I don't care. No, because here's the thing as well. Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau are at the forefront of creating everything that we know that is Star Wars. And the comics, unfortunately, were not written by them, nor did the people who wrote them have the opportunity to talk to them maybe about their creative vision. Sure, when the Caleb Doom comic was created, could you maybe have asked Dave Filoni if he thought that Caleb Doom and Depa Billaba were going to be in the Bad Batch? Probably not. However, when Dave was writing the story, he figured that that was the best way to incorporate the narrative in it. I know you're playing footsies under the table. Y'all better stop.
Wanna join in?
No, thank you.
We need a toe cam for this podcast.
Stop. But if
I
Dave
just clipped
Filoni,
them yesterday. Clipped the talons.
I don't want to know this. But if Dave Filoni
let
and
me
Jon
take a
Favreau
look.
are supposed to be,
Let me take a look.
Don't
if they're
pull my
supposed to
sock
be
off.
creating Star Wars as
Stop!
we know it now, it
Stop!
makes sense that they're gonna.
Stop!
You gotta chill. I'm trying to talk.
My man taking my
Let
sock
me
off.
speak for once on the podcast.
I need just a taste.
Jacob. Now you're
Just a taste.
now you're knocking over everything. But anyway, if they're the people that are supposed to be leading Star Wars in the new direction that it is, they're going to step on the toes of the comic creators and maybe some of the people who wrote the books, and that's fine. That doesn't mean they're retconning Star Wars. This is literally who is supposed to be creating the vision, and you have other people creating their own interpretations of the vision.
It also isn't something that important. The things
really
the things that they're like,
It's not like they
retconning-
retconned Yoda being alive or dead. It's not like Yoda just shows up like, much training this young little fella needs.
also like, and the other thing too is I'd rather see it on screen than read it in a comic. That's just me.
L,
Yep,
L, L.
I agree.
But yeah, I mean, and that's really all there is to say about it.
Yep.
Being honest.
we don't hate the comics.
Just-
No,
Stay
I've,
mad.
I've read some of the comics. I think they're great.
Mhm.
It's just that if I have the option to see it on screen and have it be a little different, I'm gonna pick that. 10
Exactly.
times out of 10. Oh my goodness.
Tell me you
The
good.
hamburger's coming back up.
Ooh.
Where'd you get the hamburger from?
Oh, my mother made them.
Oh, how was it?
It was very good.
That's
But yeah,
great.
we see Grogu is now presented with a choice. Go back to Din Djarin or stay with Luke to become the next generation of Jedi.
And I like this because the decision could really go either way.
It
Really
really,
could. There
could.
are valid arguments for both ways.
Yeah, I don't I feel like this is obviously going to be a very hard decision, and I really feel like you can't predict what's going to happen. Grogu's going to make a choice for himself, and that's literally going to be the case.
There are pros and cons to both decisions. Grogu knows that if he decides to become a Jedi, which he could be a great Jedi,
yeah,
he's not going to see Din again, and Din's going to die, and he's never going to see him again. But if he joins Din and again, which we all know it's going to happen at some point because of the Naboo Starfighter. But
I feel like it's plausible they're going to see each other again. Because then here's my thing. If Luke is bringing up the point that Din's going to die basically before Yoda even finishes his life cycle, Luke's going to die before Grogu finishes his life. If Grogu is still alive...
wait for Luke to just, keel over and then just...
You don't need these anymore.
Because Grogu has to be alive at the end of Rise of Skywalker unless he's killed, simply because his species will continue to age.
All I'm saying is when Rey Skywalker calls upon the Force of everybody, you don't hear from Baby Yoda being like, use the Force, Rey. He's alive. And if you disagree with Rey Skywalker, stay mad.
Stay mad. I feel like that could even very well be a good bridge into a possible sequel related show of after Rise of Skywalker, where Rey now has to train the next generation
taught by Grogu,
Jedi.
and Grogu's like, and she's like, I don't understand you.
I know we've talked about it so many times. I just want to see either a post episode 9 TV show in live action, or an animated show that takes place between episode 8 and episode 9.
It would be very cool, very nice.
It'd be dope.
Hey, Dave, take notes. Take notes.
Oh, well, I don't know about all that.
It's like poetry. It rhymes.
Anyways,
I know that.
I'm so hyped for the season finale.
We got one episode left in this show. It is going to be great. If you disagree, call the ambulance.
Hey, if you disagree, that's cool.
That's
actually, though, let us know what you thought of this episode in the comments down below. Let us know what you like, what you didn't like.
I honestly do not care if you did not like the episode and if you do not like the show in total, because I do, and that's all that matters. I don't care what anybody else thinks of it. As long as I'm enjoying it, it's good.
Hey, and friendly reminder, if you like something and someone else doesn't like it, that doesn't mean you have to engage with that person at all. You can just enjoy it.
And if you don't like it, sometimes you can talk about that fact that you don't like it. But if you find somebody that does like it, don't try to persuade them to not like it, because they see something in it that you don't. And that's okay. So stop trying to press your opinions on other people.
It's cringe.
As we say that while we have a podcast where we press our opinion on everybody.
That's different.
Yeah.
That's different.
That's different. We're doing it.
All right.
So I think that's it for the Book of Boba today.
I agree.
Now, do we have any Star Wars news? Any Star Wars news?
There really hasn't been
Nothing really.
Haven't been any Star Wars announcements.
There was something about Eclipse that we might get, and it's either a gameplay reveal or another sort of reveal by May 4th or by the end of this year. I'm really unsure about it. It was the guy that predicted Eclipse was coming out. It was the gameplay. It's going to have, this is speculation and rumors, but this is the guy that came out with the leak for it in the first place, saying that Eclipse is going to happen. It's going to have combat like Jedi Fallen Order, but as well as being able to be played through the perspectives of multiple different characters. So it's not going to be like a Telltale game where it's just like you watch the story unfold. You're actually going to be able to play it. It's going to be open world. It's going to have multiple vehicles. It was described as being the most ambitious Star Wars video game to ever come out. So
that's exciting.
Also, it's supposed to have like multiple paths for the tail to go.
And
like
a multiplayer too.
Yes, and like a PvP and a PvE PvP.
Whoa.
I believe it's
PvE.
Yeah. So that would be really cool. This is all speculation. Do not take it as fact. It is just, it's a rumor that came out, but the source is pretty reliable. He's gotten lots of stuff correct in the past. So stay excited. That's all I can think of for Star Wars news.
I just saw something on Twitter today. TT Games, who makes the Lego Star Wars games, tweeted out today that Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga will be a part of IGN Fan Fest, which is going to take place on February 19th. So I'm assuming it's going to be some sort of gameplay reveal. or something along those lines, or like a panel or something like that.
Mhm.
So stay tuned for that if you want to see more news.
I already
on
got
that
my
game.
pre-order of the deluxe edition in the bag. Should we do a game review on it?
No.
I think it'd be sick. Hey, let us know what you
Okay.
guys would
Yeah,
think
ask the
if we did. Because
audience.
there have been like certain times I've been wanting to do like a review of a product. Like,
What if
where
we
it's
did it as a
just-
special instead of a show? Because I was thinking y'all were talking about doing it as the weekly show, but what if we did it as like a YouTube special?
Yeah, that's what we would do.
That's fair with
But
me.
like there have been times where like I've gotten like a product and I've really wanted to just talk about it for like 5 minutes. And how would you guys feel if like here and there we just did like a review on something we thought was really cool?
Yeah.
You know? It's not
Well,
going to be everything. 'Cause
well-
if you haven't noticed, we got a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So let us know what you think. And yeah, that'll be pretty cool.
Anyway,
I got that pre-order secured. I'm very excited. I didn't realize that GameStop did payment plans for pre-orders.
GameStop is the best. GameStop is just literally one of the best retailers to ever
Yeah.
exist.
Yeah.
I hated on GameStop for the majority of my life, but now I actually like it. Not
Yeah.
gonna
It's
count.
like how I was with Chipotle and Moe's. I used to be a Chipotle guy, and then I just
They both suck.
They
I'm
both
sorry.
suck.
They both suck.
I'm
Really?
never going to any of those establishments ever again in my
I
life.
think the food, it tastes really cheap for what the price is, and you leave hungry. And I'm just gonna be honest, I'm not a huge fan of Mexican food.
Same.
what do you mean by that?
I
I'm
just
kidding.
I don't like Hispanic or Mexican food at all. It just doesn't seem good to
Well, I'm
me,
sorry
but
that
that
your
is
taste
because
buds
of
are
personal.
wrong.
I don't like hot stuff, and you know
We
that,
like-
and you'll make fun of me for that.
You like
Taco Bell? I only eat the Dorito taco there. That's
Bro-
the only
Bro,
thing I
that's
get.
that's American food. It
That
really
is
is.
American.
No, I'm not a whole big fan of beans and rice as a combination together in every dish.
Yeah, another Kung Fu Panda reference. The bean buns. They're
Anyway,
about to go bad.
if you want some S tier food, get some Chinese food. Chinese food.
Chinese food is
Chinese
the
food
best.
slaps.
Japanese food is fire too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love sushi. Anyway,
And Korean barbecue.
I haven't had Korean
So
barbecue.
we had it. We went to Cedar Point when we in high school, and there was like that Korean barbecue like
Oh yes,
truck.
the it was like Cupzilla.
kimchi.
No, it
wasn't
Cupzi-
kimchi.
It was Cupzilla.
Yeah, it was amazing.
That was pretty good.
So good.
Yeah.
Shout
okay.
out to Caleb for getting us to try
Caleb
it.
Smith, if you're watching, thank you for making us try it.
We love you, Caleb.
Last time I
Love
went
you.
to Cedar Point, I was hoping that they were gonna have Cupzilla there,
Me
and they
too.
did not. So
Yeah, we all went together that time.
Yeah.
Mm.
Anyways,
that's a video y'all guys will never see. But
and
Okay.
let's talk about Jacob and his.
can I talk about my Legos, guys? Can
What's
I
a
talk
good
about
Lego?
my
What's been
Legos?
going on? The Lego news was dry for like 2 months, and now
Okay.
it's just all happening.
Well, because that's the thing. It's like Lego really comes out with their stuff intermittently. It's not like where Black Series is like it'll come out like every month or so.
Or
Like-
not come out.
Yeah, Lego has like a schedule for their products to release all year. So it's like they have like a break in between everything, and just right when it's starting to come up to the time where they're starting to do the reveals, because Lego's security, I guess, on their products kind of sucks. All the leaks start coming out. So we did get an official reveal for the Mandalorian helmet set and the X-wing pilot set.
Ooh.
If you want to,
And the Dark Trooper.
No, we did not get an official reveal for that.
Okay, my
We did
bad.
not get that. That was a leak. That you ruined it. You ruined it. You ruined it. So okay, no, I get the third set that we are getting is the Dark Trooper from the Mandalorian season 2. That's going to be a Target exclusive. We did not get an official reveal of it. We just got a.
I'm sorry, fella.
We got
Cobb Vanth is the one playing with it in the photos.
Is it really?
no. It's
It looks like Cobb Vanth.
no, it doesn't. But no, it's just a guy. It's just a guy. We just see the top half of the trooper's helmet, just half built on a desk. So
there were other photos that came out.
Yeah.
that was the only one I've seen of it.
No, there's a different photo where a dude has it almost entirely built, and it looks like the actor of Cobb Vanth building it.
Uh,
It looks like it will be one of the promotional images.
But
for
we
it.
got those two officially announced, as well as as you can see here, I finally got my hands on the Ahsoka brickheads. Little product review. I built this in under 5 minutes. Really simple build. It was $10. I usually don't get the brickheads, but I like Ahsoka so much that I had to pick it up. Yeah, that was pretty cool. The pre-orders for it, or the orders for it, finally went up on Lego.com, and the pre-orders for the Clone Trooper like little build-up pack finally went up for pre-order. They'll be out in March when they were supposed to drop at the beginning of this year. I'm not complaining about it. I'm just excited to be able to get it. It's already on pre-order. You'll see it when it arrives. What else? Oh, we got the.
He does look like Timothy Oliphant
That
a
is
little bit.
that's
Little bit.
gotta
Oh, and that
be
is
him.
pretty built. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. We'll put that picture up instead
Oh.
of the one I've seen.
Somebody literally put a picture side by side.
But
Yes.
and we also saw a look at Boba's Palace set, which looks like it's going to be a miniature version of the, I think it's 2014. Don't quote me on the ages or eras of previous Lego sets. I don't know them that well.
It's gonna be a playset.
It's going to be a playset of Boba Fett. We're looking at Boba, Bib Fortuna, Fennec, and then like a couple other minifigures.
Are you gonna get it though?
Yes, I will be getting it. And we will see that on the podcast. We're getting that. And then there's also going to be the Luke Skywalker hallway scene. And it's going to come with a bunch of Dark Troopers. So people that didn't want to drop the couple $100 on...
Send in the Dark Troopers.
People that didn't want to drop a couple $100 on Moff Gideon's Light Cruiser could finally get their hands on Dark Trooper set.
3 of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is pretty nice. Because not a lot of people wanted to buy that
Don't they have
set.
arm and leg printing too?
I don't know.
I
forget.
thought it was that or Luke has the arm and leg printing because I saw somebody talking about that online.
I've only seen the pictures for like a little bit, and I just looked at it and was like, oh, cool. Because they're not ground shaking sets that I'm like super super excited for. I'm gonna get them just because they're in the eras I collect. But yeah, those are cool. Those are coming out. Nice little flavor savers for the meantime, because Lego really has like intermittent drops where they just come out like every couple months, so that it's kind of nice being a Lego collector because I have a little bit of leeway to get my money up, especially right now with Marvel Legends not coming out with any figures I really want anything to do with. So I've taken a break from those, and every time I see the NECA figures I want in store, I go, I see you all the time, I'm just gonna put you back and get you later. So yeah, I've kind of had a bit of a dry spell on my collecting, especially for Black Series. We haven't really got too much
No.
as of late.
Yeah.
Well, there was some. I mean, are you done with this or?
Yeah, I guess I can.
There was some good Black Series
I guess I can be.
news.
Good and bad. I'm gonna start with the
Yeah,
bad first.
Yeah,
Okay, that's fine.
I guess I can
Shut
be
up.
If anybody had some, if anyone had like pre-orders for the GameStop exclusive Gaming Greats Night Brother from Jedi Fallen Order,
You don't anymore.
You don't anymore. Why? Because Hasbro wants us all to have a better pre-order experience.
I'm going to say this right off the rip. I don't think it's a big deal. The pre-orders got canceled because I have a very good feeling that you will see it in GameStops. When a figure sells out
always
at GameStop, it goes through the cycle of, okay, this product has sold out, let's order more. I cannot tell you the amount of times I've seen the Imperial Jump Trooper, Cal Kestis, the Scout Trooper,
Flame Trooper,
Zalbar, the Flame Trooper. Every single Gaming Greats figure I have seen consistently on shelves almost every time I've gone to GameStop.
I just think it's annoying.
It is annoying.
When like if you're gonna cancel a pre-order, at least send me an email telling me why you had to cancel my pre-order, instead of just doing it. And I didn't even get it. No, I didn't even get a notice. I didn't even get an email from GameStop saying that my pre-order got canceled. It just happened. And as someone who is such a big fan of Jedi Fallen Order, that's why I got the figure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I feel like he's probably gonna not peg warm, but I feel like he's gonna be pretty easy to find.
Exactly.
It's not like a troop builder, so
No. The only reason why people are going to get it is because either A, they like Jedi Fallen Order, or B, they're going to use it to make a custom Savage press.
Yeah, it looks like Savage.
Mm.
Here's another important thing as well that I actually learned the other week while getting my hair cut by, shout out to Jeff, that's my
Shouts
barber.
out to Jeff, Black Series collector. He's
Yes.
awesome. He's the one that told me about the Bad Batch pop figures that we have
Yes.
sitting on top of us.
He was telling me about how he has a friend who consistently, he goes to the store to pre-order a new item and whatnot, and he was being explained that essentially that like his other buddy obviously will just pre-order off GameStop.com, get all of his orders fulfilled, where his buddy in the store almost never gets anything fulfilled. And he like finally like went to the manager one day and was like, what gives? Like, why is this? And apparently if you pre-order an item in store at GameStop, you are put below priority of people who buy it online.
orders.
So if you buy your things online, you are guaranteed to get it before people who get it in store. So pre-order and
Interesting.
buy your items off GameStop.com and not in store if that is possible for you.
GameStop.com is also very easy to navigate.
Exactly. They're not really difficult to find.
Unless
Good stuff.
something is like fresh coming out like this very second, you might have a little bit of difficulty finding it.
True.
But other than that, it's usually pretty smooth.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
And then there was that.
There was the mishap with the Tython Boba Fett that was supposed to come out today. Well, yesterday, as of when we are recording. However, I was really surprised. Hasbro Pulse put out an official statement and said that, hey, this isn't coming out. We're actually going to do it this day instead. At least they gave us a date, and at least they communicated with the fans. I know some people are upset.
People are mad about Walgreens.
But it's still going to come out next week, and it's going to come out on the Fan First Friday.
Yeah, and then
so
the
that's fine
release
with
date
me.
for it will be
Probably December.
April of 2025.
It's just a repaint of the figure that they just came out with a new belt.
So Lugnus Monster,
And the helmet's like,
shout out Lugnus Monster. He has a video about the inaccuracies of this figure. And at first I was like, what do you mean inaccuracies? But then I looked at it. No, it is inaccurate to Boba Fett. You know that they could have just taken the the Return of the Jedi Deluxe Boba.
Yeah.
That whole thing with the armor setup
Yeah.
is a separate piece. They could have taken that and put that on this Boba Fett figure and made it accurate. Whereas you know how on his new suit he has the sleeves that go over his shoulder plates?
Mm-hmm.
That's what the figure looks like. It's just repainted.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, it is a little bit inaccurate, but
The detail still looks amazing.
Oh yeah, the detail looks great. And I feel like for me, comfortably, this will be the last Boba Fett related figure I get for a while.
Don't say that too
Because-
fast. I thought you were
Unless they
saying
do
it gets
something
released.
really cool, because then I'm getting a Book of Boba, which is technically from the Mandalorian season 2, and then we're getting the Tython version, and I feel like that's enough for me. If they're gonna do it, if something again happens with Boba Fett entirely, I'll get the figure. But for now, I feel happy with what I get, because I will only collect figures that I feel happy with getting and displaying and playing with.
Mm-hmm.
I'm totally want him. Totally.
Oh, I am
But
gonna get. Yeah,
there's
it
also
looks
going to
good.
be a Fan First Wednesday.
Yes.
Finally.
coming up. It's
Finally.
been so long.
I'm excited
Yes.
to just get any news whatsoever about figures. It's
Holiday figures? Question mark.
I don't think they'll talk
they
about
better
that.
they better save those until next Christmas, because
At this point, they
if
just
I have to get them
should.
in the middle of summer, that's depressing.
Because they're already in the United States, so
Christmas
just
in
keep
July.
it. Okay, I'm actually okay with that.
I'm not. That's so stupid.
Y'all were laughing at me, but here's my thing. Maybe, just maybe, we'll get somebody talking about the 212 Trooper. It's in the United
Dude,
States.
you should do stand up. That was a good one.
It's in the US, and it's finally here, and they're gonna do a Fan First Friday. I feel like there's all the potential
Watch
in the
them be
world
like in the
for
middle
them
of the
to do
stream,
it.
and it comes out right now, and everybody's like, "What?"
Because here's the issue as well with the stream. If it takes place at 1 o'clock on Wednesday, I can't do it because I work at 1.
You know what's crazy? It's February.
Yes.
And when did this figure get announced? It was last summer, wasn't it?
Yep.
Wasn't it during, correct me if I'm wrong.
You're
No,
wrong.
it was not May the 4th.
No, it was after that.
It was
It
after
was
that.
when wasn't it? It got announced with like 2 other figures that.
What
everyone
else were
could-
we
Oh,
pre-ordering?
it was
Because I
Imperial
was supposed to get
Crosshair
it.
and Bad
Yes.
Batch Rex.
Yes, because we were on the couch and Jacob missed Rex and we were upset and I was trying to get the 212th and I sat for an hour
I got Rex,
refreshing my phone.
I remember playing Call of Duty Warzone that day, and every 30 minutes we would.
Jacob got
Check
Rex
Walgreens.
and so can you if you subscribe. Just gonna plug that. Sorry.
Hey.
But yeah, it's been a long time. There are a lot of figures that are kind of in limbo. I know that the credit collection armorer got all the pre-orders canceled for that too. So there are a lot of figures that are kind of in limbo, and we don't know what's going on, and we haven't had a Fan First anything in a while.
Maybe we'll have
What, you want to kiss?
Maybe we'll have in-person people holding the figure of Echo, Omega, and the rest of that wave that's supposed to come out in the summer.
I am excited for that Echo figure. I am so excited for that Echo figure. I'm gonna get 14.
I need Echo and
Chill.
Omega to
Yes.
complete my Bad Batch.
My life will be complete when my Bad Batch Black Series figures are complete.
They are complete.
And season 2 comes out this summer.
Yes.
Mhm.
So that'll only make it better.
Maybe they'll release right when the new season's releasing.
Maybe they'll release a TK Trooper
Ooh.
That
or
would be
a Clone Commando.
They have to do a TK Trooper at this point, I feel
Or
like.
maybe they'll release maybe they'll release Clone 99.
This is what I was bred for. And you can have the blaster marks. in his
Okay,
back.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
And you can
okay,
have Heavy's
okay.
medal.
Okay, let's chill.
And you can have his casket and his funeral playlist.
No, he
Stop.
probably got cremated.
Probably got dumped into the ocean.
But at any rate, YakFace had also said that there are now 13, pardon me,
13.
unnamed Black Series figures in the system that we have no clue what
So
they
here's
are.
what I'm gonna come out and say: 4 of them are credit collection, 3 of them are carbonized, and the rest, who knows?
What if, in my opinion,
Kenobi figures.
Oh,
Bad Batch
Yo.
figures that we haven't seen yet.
the Bad Batch.
Mando Season 3.
Attack of the Clones anniversary?
Attack of the Clones.
I'm holding on for Attack of the
Book of
Clones
Boba.
anniversary.
Book of Boba
If
figures.
they did Rogue One 5th anniversary and
We're
they
gonna-
don't do Attack of the Clones 20th anniversary,
They have to do it.
Y'all are just dumb.
Because Yak
We're
even
gonna-
said in a stream that we were going to get Jedi, but he couldn't say what it was.
Here's what I'm thinking.
well,
Here's what I'm-
Mundi is all but confirmed, and so is Ayla Sakura.
Here's what I'm thinking. I think that we're gonna get a Luke Skywalker from the Book of Boba figure because that's such an easy figure to do. And to be honest, I probably wouldn't be that mad about
They're
it.
gonna take the figure that they were gonna put with the Black Series
Yep.
core.
And that's what it's going to
Here
be.
it is, guys.
Watch them give us a second chance at the Rancor. That's never gonna happen.
Here's the thing, though. It would make sense, though, for them to re-release Return of the Jedi Luke Skywalker, considering that wasn't that a Walmart exclusive that came back all the way back when? So
Well,
people have been asking for
But
it.
this is a different look in the Book of Boba.
It's
That's what I'm-
almost the same, minus the cloak.
and minus the entire neck down area. His
Well-
legs are the same, maybe, but like his
Okay.
torso's different.
What are you looking at?
Okay. I'm just looking at the TVC figures.
Oh, okay.
Oh, should we show off that one and that one? We should show off those
The
two.
bottom 2.
Yeah.
Actually the bottom 3. We didn't
My
show
father
off
has
any
now
of them.
decided to start collecting
Dude,
TVC.
my pants are stuck to the chair. Oh.
Not good.
Bro, look at the seat, bro. This man has made the seat gray. This seat is wooden and it is now gray. I'm gonna hold this up. Can y'all see this? The seat is gray. It's supposed to be brown. What?
My
No,
man's
not that one,
sweatpants
not that one, that one.
peeled off.
Not that one. The one on the right.
The one on the
No,
right.
shelf.
Where the
Oh, there's one over here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
whoopsie.
This man graying my seats and being
All right, now, because now I feel like it's a comfortable time to switch to
Sweaty
weekly
bum, I
pickups.
guess.
All right, yeah. So here's some pickups.
We got the TVC C-3PO from Droids. We got the TVC Emperor Palpatine.
I also got that figure for our work.
And
Yes.
the TVC Beskar Mando. And I have a TVC Rogue One Darth Vader at my dorm that I keep forgetting to bring back. That we'll see it eventually. Shout out to Nafis for getting me that. That was
Shout
really
out
cool.
Feast.
Mhm.
Shout out to Feast.
And then we
Real
also
homie.
just got in the mail today the re-armored Boba helmet. Now, let me say this. From the pictures that I saw that Hasbro put out, I was like, okay, it kind of looks like doo-doo garbage.
Yeah,
You look like.
It doesn't look that bad in person.
it looks really
it
good
looks
in
pretty
person.
good. And on camera right now, I can see that it looks mighty fine. I could have gone for a darker green on the helmet. That's what I would have liked. But apparently this is exactly what they used in the show. The color is correct. So I got to suck it up and deal with it.
It looks really, really nice, though. Yes, it's the umpteenth Boba Fett Black Series helmet
We got
repaint
1,
have,
2, 3.
But it's
4.
my favorite.
but it looks
look.
really, really cool.
Yeah.
The re-armored look is still my favorite Boba Fett
Yeah.
armor design.
Yeah. I don't like how it looks in the book. I just noticed in my head was like this. I don't like how it looks in the Book of Boba, if I'm being honest, with the helmet was slimmed down. I like the fat look of the original one.
I like
that's
the
just
slim.
that's just how I'm gonna be. I think the slim works for Mando. I think you can't really change Boba's helmet because it was so iconic. I'm not butthurt about it, but I'm like,
I need to get some redemption for somebody here. Snatch your chain! Snatch your chain! Snatch your chain. That's redemption for Jackson from last week.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm gonna grip check your shirt off one of these days. But
Other than that,
other than that, how have y'all been doing? Y'all doing good?
Everybody, thank you so much for your support.
thank you for making it to the end.
Thank you for watching another episode of the 1313 podcast.
Did you guys like the outro from last episode? I hope you did, because you're about to hear it again.
We've gotten some amazing photos already that
Yep.
I am totally going to put in the credits.
Yep. So, with that, thank you so much, everybody, for watching this episode of the 1313 podcast. Please, if you liked it, leave a like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Let us know what you thought of the episode and what you thought of the recent episode of Book of Boba and anything else Star Wars in this galaxy. Please make sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, follow us on TikTok, And join that Discord. We have tons of fun in there. We talk all the time, have lots of people in there active every single day. It's not a dead Discord. You won't regret joining it. We talk all the time in it. You get to hear our opinions about things before they air.
It's every day.
You get to hear our opinions on things before the show airs. You get
75,
to
do I have
100?
175, 75, 75, do I have 175?
Shut up. You're just ruining my flow, bro. You get to hear our opinions on things before it airs on the episode, and you get to know our pickups, what's going on in our lives. It's kind of fun. You gotta get a little behind the scenes action of what's going on with us, as well as being able to interact with a bunch of nice Star Wars folk on a daily basis. We thank you all very, very much for joining us on today's episode of the 1313 podcast, the most mediocre podcast in the Star Wars universe. And we will see you all on Thursday for Have a Chat with Papa Gord, which will already be out by now. And if you haven't seen it already, please go watch it. Go support Papa Gord. Give him a sub on the YouTubes and on Instagram. Thank you all. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Like a banta.
Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun.
Hum da da hum da da hum dum dum da. Hum da da hum da da dum dum da dum. Ba-dum ba-dum. Ba-dum ba-dum. Ba-dum ba-dum. Ba-ba-dum. Ba-dum. Ba-dum ba-dum. Ba-dum ba-dum dum. Hum da dum hum da da hum dum 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 dum. Dum dum da dum hum da da hum dum da da. Hey, I'm da dum da dum da. Hum da dum da dum da.